All right, peace and blessings. Friday, January the 5th, the year 2018. Many of you know that I have befriended Michael and Pat Parsons, who I believe have been set up by a corrupt FBI. Pat Parsons was entrapped. It seems to be the FBI's modus operandi to imprison innocent women and men. And there's a website out there called MikeParsons.org. We've uploaded audios from Mike's first trial, where they first came against Mike after he ran for public office, and they put him on the list and trying to label him as a sovereign citizen. They are trying to take his farm and destroy his life, ruin his marriage, kill his animals. Absolutely horrific what's happening to the Parsons. But here's an article that I was sent, and I wanted to read it, and then I have some questions for this other gentleman who is involved in this situation. My understanding is this Anthony Todd Weverka, and I've got some questions for him that I'll get to at the bottom. He was the Parsons' friend, so I don't know what his story is, but let's read the article. Arapaho man takes pretrial diversion deal in plot to kidnap sheriff. Saturday, December the 30th, the year 2017. Why did he get a diversion, but Mrs. Pat Parsons not get a diversion? I don't even know what a diversion is. So if you know what a diversion is, you tell me. Omaha, Nebraska. The Arapaho man believed to have known about a plot to kidnap Furnas County Sheriff Kurt Kapperman and not telling law enforcement officers about it has entered into a pretrial diversion agreement with the United States Attorney's Office. So Anthony Todd Weverka, 55 years old, of Arapaho, has agreed to resolve federal criminal charges pending against him by entering into an agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Weverka was charged with knowing about a plot to abduct the Furnas County Sheriff, but failing to disclose his knowledge of the details of the plot to law enforcement. Weverka was accused of knowing about a plan by a couple from Tennessee to kidnap the sheriff. The official charge was misprision of felony, the deliberate concealment of one's knowledge of a felony or treasonable act. I wonder if that would apply to all of the law enforcement officials in America when they deliberately concealed the knowledge of Obama's forged birth certificate. Does that mean every law enforcement official in America and mainstream media is guilty of a misprision of a felony? Misprision, if that's the proper way to pronounce it. Alleging that Weverka knew of the existence of felony offenses by Mike and Pat Parsons of Arlington, Tennessee, and the plans to kidnap Sheriff Kapperman, and that he provided assistance to those planning the abduction. It was further alleged in the federal indictment that Weverka made false statements to the sheriff when he did make a partial disclosure of what he knew. By entering into a pretrial diversion agreement, Weverka admitted he had committed the offense charged in the indictment and agreed to certain terms and conditions that, if satisfied, would result in the dismissal of charges pending against him. The length of his term of probation is 18 months, and the agreement requires him to satisfy certain general and special conditions, including 50 hours of community service. This case was investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, also known as the Children of Satan, and the Nebraska State Patrol. In January 2017, law enforcement officials tracked Mike Parsons, a felon wanted in Tennessee, and his cell phone to the airport 5 miles north of Arapaho, and arrested him after finding him inside a locked airport office. Weverka was the president of the Arapaho Airport Board. Furnas County Sheriff Kurt Kapperman said at the time the FBI agents had alerted his office that Parsons may be in the Arapaho area and that he was wanted on the failure to appear charge and firearms charges. His record includes theft, burglary, aggravated kidnapping, and aggravated assault. Following Parsons' arrest, another individual demanded his release from jail in Beaver City, indicating she was the Chief Justice of the Universal Court of Chilcotin Nation in British Columbia, Canada. Parsons claimed he was an ambassador and Associate Chief Justice of the country of Chilcotin. After Mike Parsons' arrest, Pat Parsons, Mike Parsons' wife, became involved in the plan to kidnap Sheriff Kapperman and Judge Joe Walker III, the presiding judge in Tipton County, Tennessee, and transport them to Canada to face criminal charges. On September the 1st, 2017, Mike Parsons was sentenced to 3 years in prison for failure to appear at a court hearing. Also, September the 1st, Parsons' wife, Pat, pled guilty to attempting to kidnap the Tennessee judge and the Nebraska sheriff who helped arrest her husband. After serving his failure to appear sentence, Mike Parsons will be released to federal authorities to face a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm. The firearms charge is punishable by up to 10 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, or both. The investigation of the Parsons has involved Sheriff Capperman's department, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Nebraska State Patrol, and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and the FBI. Here's my questions for Mr. Weverka. Keep in mind his name is Anthony Todd Weverka. I have no idea how to use Facebook. My wife's really busy this morning. If you guys know how to get a hold of this guy, I would like to ask him some questions. You can send him to this video and give him my phone number, 972-839-9848. My understanding is that Mr. Weverka was a friend of Michael Parsons. And I don't know why or how he got a diversion, but my questions are, number one, how did you get a diversion? And not face any charges. And if anybody knows what a diversion is, maybe you can clarify me on what that is. Number two, how did you find an attorney? Number three, how did you pay for, what did you pay your attorney? Number four, why will no attorney help the Parsons? Number five, why do you think they framed Miss Parsons? Number six, why do they hate the Parsons so much? Number seven, who ended up on Mr. Parsons' plane? Number 8, are you going to be a witness against Mr. Parsons at his trial? So, I hope this guy didn't turn snitch in order to get a lighter sentence against his friend Michael Parsons. I hope that's not the case. If you know how to contact Anthony Todd Weverka, it appears he's somewhere in Arapahoe. I guess that's Arapahoe, Nebraska. I'm not sure. I don't know what state it's in. Wherever Arapahoe is. You guys help me out, and if you can find him and get him this video, I would love to him to answer these questions if he doesn't mind. I'm not trying to be his enemy. I'm not trying to put him on the spot. I'm trying to help Michael and Pat Parsons, whose life is being destroyed, their farm is being destroyed, their animals are being killed, and Pat Parsons is facing 5 years in prison in 13 days. In 13 days, she's got to turn herself in to Aliceville, Alabama prison. And I don't think she's guilty. I think the FBI framed her. I'm trying to help him out, and I would hope that Mr. Weverka would want to help him out too.